Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden. Well, I'm so glad that you've come to visit with me here today. Make sure that you subscribe. Now, in the garden, sometimes we go through peaks and valleys. Well, this was a peak moment, but then watch as I experience a valley. Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden. It's so good to be here with you today. I hope all is well with you. Well, my roses are fading, but they're still very beautiful and highly fragrant. And I decided that instead of just throwing them away or just deadheading them, that's clipping off the spent blooms, that I'm going to create this bouquet of roses. So this is Rose Cornelia Heirloom Climber, and then this one is Eden Climber Rose. Yes. And so I've been talking about the roses, and for me, June is Rose Month, when my roses just bloom and are just quite spectacular. And if you haven't seen some of the videos done on the roses, go back and look at those videos on my playlist, and you'll see how beautiful my roses have just been evolving for the month of June. I'm in love with these roses, and they have just been opening up so fully here. This rose is called Cornelia Climbing Heirloom Rose, and it is so beautiful. We are going to get rain real soon, and I know with that a lot of the rose petals, roses are going to fall apart, and already we have rose petals on the ground. And so I just wanted to show you this. They're not all finished, but they're just about there. They're heading into their next phase. So I'm going to have to be doing a lot of deadheading and removing those spent blooms from the vine so that I can get another flush of roses. When you deadhead like that, what it does is it stimulates the rose bush to bloom new roses. Here you can see that the rose petals have fallen off, and so I'm going to have to go back and clip. And then here on Eden Climbing Rose, and this other rose is called Curly Pink. You can see that the petals are now dried up and they need clipping. But you can see the beauty of this rose. Isn't this beautiful? And the flowers are just so big and lush, but it doesn't look very attractive. So what I'm going to need to do is go through and clip off all of the spent blooms. Wow. And this is a very fragrant rose also. And you can really see that also in the knockout roses that I have, that they are very clean. What I mean by clean is that the blossoms, the petals actually fall off of the the off the rose. It just sheds, and then it grows above it. It kind of like covers those spent blooms and gives a fresh flush. I have been very satisfied with these knockout roses. I put them in about 3 or 4 years ago, and they have just expanded and bloomed and spread out. And then this is a heirloom rose too that is beautiful as well. But you could see that here, and just wanted to see a little bit of the garden too. My veggies are growing, and everything is looking very good here in the garden. By the way, my day lilies are open, and those are Stella d'Oro day lilies. The old-fashioned ones, like Eden, doesn't really do that. It kind of like clumps. And so I have to go through and deadhead it. And when I do that, what it does is it causes new growth and new blooms and new fresh blooms. There are still new buds opening up, as you can see here, because they sort of cluster now. But there are a lot of other flowers that are now turning brown, and either I'll have to pull off those brown petals or just deadhead, as I said, just clip them off of the branches. I was out here just enjoying the garden this morning and smelling the roses. And this rose is so fragrant that I understand whoever came up with that to smell the roses, you know, that they really know what they're talking about, because this is highly fragrant, this rose here out in the garden. And you know, this is just the time for reflection and thinking also. And what I'm going to do next, I know that in July the garden is transitioning to much more hotter days, and actually today is going to be in the 80s. And so I'm going to really have to water everything, take care of everything, make sure that they stay lush and they can adjust to the heat. And you know, it's that's life. There are changes. Life goes through its changes, so we just go with the flow and enjoy every single moment. And that's what I would have to say to you, that don't stay stagnant, but to change and to flow with your garden and enjoy your garden. This rose, La France, naturally just sheds its petals. It is highly, highly perfuming and fragrant. And so that I don't have much work to do with that one. And behind it you can see the knockout rose. But you can see that there, that they start to just fall off automatically on their own, and then there's just a flush of rebloom. We experienced a really warm day today, hot day in the 80s here, and just in a day, my roses here, my favorite, one of my favorites anyway, the roses have shriveled up and the petals are falling off, and it's pretty much done. But I'm glad that I was able to enjoy it at the time. And don't miss the beauty in the garden, because the garden is a beautiful place. So I decided to cut off some of the good blooms, the nice beautiful blooms, and also do some deadheading with this. And I'm going to create a vase with the roses. Now I'm going to put the roses in a vase and enjoy them. And that's what you can do with life. You know, sometimes things happen, things change, but we need to look for the good in everything. And that way we can stay on a peak. We can stay positive. because that positivity is then going to introduce us and bring us into a better time. And even though this is now pretty much finished, my hydrangeas are coming in. And look how beautiful they are. So I have something new to look forward to. Yes, I can reminisce, but I can also look forward to. I cut back the spent blooms that were hanging over on the deck and used those flowers that were still in good condition to create a beautiful bouquet of roses to smell and admire and enjoy as I read my book, Peaks and Valleys. I've just been relaxing and reading my book, Peaks and Valleys, and found myself in the same experience. I've just come out of a peak experience with my roses, but now I'm headed into the valley, and that the roses are finished and they're now shedding their petals and or just shriveling up. So I'm now headed back down into the valley, and so I want you to just see that what we can do instead of continuing and feeling sorry and saying, oh, my roses are gone. No, I can take that and make something beautiful out of it. And I've decided to create this beautiful bouquet of roses and enjoy them for this moment, because that's all I can do is enjoy it right now. And I think this is so beautiful. And it also goes so well with my book, Peaks and Valleys. I was sharing with you how this rose is a beautiful rose. However, when it becomes spent, it takes on a whole different look. Let me show you what I mean by that. So here it is. We have the first bloom here, and then it moves to this bloom, which is so beautiful. Then you have this here, and then this one. So it kind of creates its own little bouquet here. But then after a while, it turns like this. And so I'm going to have to deadhead the roses, because as you can see, they're spent and just they're ready to come off. So everything is for a moment, for a time, but you have to make the most of it. Enjoy the moments in life, the good times, the peaks, because soon you will have a valley experience. But it's how you deal with that valley that matters. Are you going to look at it in a depressed way? Because everything is changing, nothing stays the same. Isn't this beautiful? So it's how you deal with the moments. You see that? That makes the difference. And look at my other rose bush down here, curly pink. It was looking so lovely a couple of days ago. But now it's drying up, shriveling up, and the blooms are falling off. So I'm going to go through and deadhead those blooms and set it up for its next flush of flowers. But in the meantime, look at that. In spite of the changes that are happening to the roses in the garden, I still can see a lot of new things coming forward. I can see those nasturtium leaves just expanding and growing, And then I have those alliums that are about to open up, and the petunias are looking pretty good too. So don't despair, because also I have some hydrangea plants that are flowering, and they're going to go through their different stages of beauty. So there's always something to look forward to. I was sitting here reading my book, Peaks and Valleys by Spenser Johnson, MD, the writer of Who Moved My Cheese. And while I was sitting here, I was looking at my roses, and because of the heat, they have started to wither. And the one that I love the most, I love them all actually, this one here, started to shed its petals, and so I decided, let me make this bouquet here. So I've cut some of the roses, and I've created what would have been a loss. I ended up creating this beautiful bouquet here on my deck. And doesn't it look nice? So we can, cut your losses and know that they will bloom again, but enjoy the moment. And sometimes you just have to do that, just like what this book was saying, the peaks and the valleys. You just experience peaks and valleys. But what you do is you just take these moments and you make the most of them. You see how can you make it a positive experience versus a feeling of loss. I have right now the feeling of gaining this beautiful vase of flowers from my garden. Well, if you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. How are your roses doing? How's your garden growing? I hope all is well with you. Are you enjoying your gardening? Are you sitting in and are you making bouquets of flowers? Do you like to cut your flowers, or do you just like to leave them in the garden? So comment down below and let me know how things are going for you. And yeah, just enjoy your day. Yes. It's a beautiful morning. I want to sing that song almost. It's a beautiful morning. Well, if you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Have you been going through peaks and valleys in your garden? And how have you handled it? Have you been able to adjust and think positive in spite of what may be happening? Well, if so, comment down below and let's share our experiences. But in the meantime, look at this. Anyway, have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming and visiting me here in Catherine's Garden. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And see you next time in Catherine's Garden. Bye.